All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, I'm sure you saw it in the thumbnail. If not, you see it now. We're going to be revisiting black, yellow Kyros. That's right, EB-01 Kyros. And I say revisiting because I've actually already covered this leader in the past. I did a comprehensive deck builder's guide, which I will link in the comment section below for those who are interested, or if you just want to check it out or whatever. But yeah, that was all the way back when EB-01 first came out, and now we're in OP07. So we've got some new cards to talk about and to check out. And hey, you know, black, yellow, those are, for those who are not aware, I know the people who have been following the channel for a while know that those are my two favorite colors. So it's always fun, you know, getting back to, you know, being able to, I'm very comfortable in this color pool, so it's going to be nice to mess around with this leader and talk about it. And if I miss anything, guys, as usual, please help me out in the comment section below, because today's video, the direction of this video will be all about doing another deep dive, you know, basically a part 2 on black, yellow Kyros, trying to make this leader, you know, trying to take this leader to the next level, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this leader at least playable, right, and something that could compete at a local level. All right, so let me give you a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing today, what we're going to be getting into. First things first, we got to go over to the Bandai website, and we got to, you know, track out a course. We got to get our wallets ready for what's coming in the future of this game, because there's a lot to talk about. It's nothing crazy. It's just it's almost like there's something every single month with a few breaks in between. We'll talk about when we get there. So we're going to be checking out some new release dates coming up. Then we're going to go over to where we are right now, actually on the screen, over to 8tcg.com. Big shout out to my Brazilian listeners. 8tcg.com is a Brazilian site that features a ton of off-meta decks. It's really cool. They have a lot of meta decks on there as well, so you can check it out for anything. But you guys know I love the off-meta stuff. I love the rogue stuff, the janky stuff. That's right up my alley. You know, that's what keeps me motivated to play the game, make videos, and all that good stuff. So we're going to go over there, and we're going to check out this Kyros list that did pretty well at a local tournament over there in Brazil. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and go over to the sim. I've got 3 games lined up for us. And then we will go over to the One Piece TCG simulator, and I will break down what I was, we'll break down the deck a little bit. I'll give some final thoughts on it, and we'll wrap up the entire video with an art critique. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. You know what we're getting into now, guys. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll have everything time-stamped down in the comment section below, all that good stuff, or in the general description, to where it should show up as chapters. Someone in my last video, I think, said that it wasn't working. It was working for me, so who knows? Maybe YouTube's just a little bit glitchy for different web browsers. I have no idea. We'll have to figure it out later. All right, but anyway, let's get into this, guys. We have a lot to talk about. First up, let's go over to the products page. Okay, and go down. Remember, or not remember, I'm actually, let me tell you guys, I am recording this on July 2nd, and that's when I'm going to release the video. On the same day, July 2nd. So with that in mind, June 28th, OP07 just came out, right? OP07 just came out. Well, there's a lot of stuff to pick up here if you're into the collector side of this game, but the more player side of the game I have to talk about and focus on. August. All right, so we have 1 month in July pretty much to take a break, right, to catch up. But in August, we got one release that's important to players, and that being 3D2Y ST14, a brand new starter deck. That's a small purchase for the whole month, right? So that's a good thing. So it's almost like we have July and August to catch up, because guess what's coming in September, guys? OP08. That's right. So we're in June, or excuse me, we're in July, but June 28th is when the OP07 came out, and then July and August are going to be kind of like slower months, like as far as like financial investment goes for the players. Now, collectors, you're in your own. You already know, guys. Like, you're going to have to read all of this and do your homework and see when you can do this stuff. But for the players, you're going to have a nice break until September when OP08 comes out. Then, after September and going into October, check this out: ST15 through 20. So I mentioned this in a previous video. If you're like me, guys, that is going to be 6 times 2 purchases at around $12 each. That's going to hurt a little bit, but I have to have all my 2-ups, guys. That's just how I am. You know, hey, if you only play one color, this is still another break for you, right? It's like, okay, cool, I only have to buy 2 of these starter decks, I'm good. But for players like me who play like every single color, that's going to be rough on my wallet. All right, and then finally, in November, we do get notice this has March 2025. This is a collector type set right here. But for the players, November, looks like it might be nothing going on. And then December, OP09. That's right, already talking about OP09, guys. We're just now seeing the spoilers for it. How crazy is that? All right, things are moving quick, but we got to stay ahead of it or we're going to fall behind, and then it starts feeling horrible. Okay, so let's move from there over to the Kyros here. And actually, let me go back. So actually, the way that their website works is every time you click on the leader, it like saves it. We have to hit back a few times. But check this out, guys. I'm on 8tcg.com. Obviously, I'm under the One Piece section, and they have all these different decks you can check out and play on the website. And if you want to sort for a specific leader, I'm going to use Kyros in this case. There's 2 lists. Now, I did check out both of them, and they are the exact same list. It's by the same guy, Pepe. Okay, and it looks like here's where it was, whatever the the name of their store was. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I'm not going to mess that up. But again, big shout out to my Brazilian listeners. You guys are awesome. So guys, here's the first list we're going to look at. I'm going to read the leader first, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so I went to put my glasses on when they're already on. So we got a 5,000 power, 4 life leader. That is very standard for a dual color leader. This one's black and yellow. Activate main once per turn. You may turn 1 card from the top of your life face up. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. Now, excuse me, here's what we have to talk about. You do have to have a card that you can turn face up. So in other words, let's just say you're at 3 life for this example, and you pop one of their characters by using your leader effect, turning the top card of your life face up, and popping a 0-cost character. Well, next turn, if they don't attack you and you still have a face-up card in your life, you cannot use this leader's effect unless you can turn it face down with your own effects. And we'll talk about that a little bit as well. Okay, so that is a major part of this. So first of all, the way that black usually works as a color is you have your cost reducers and then your cards that pop based off of cost. So you want to lower the cost of a character and then pop it with a card that can hit something in that range. Whatever, each card's different. In this case, you have to get down to a 0. So, since we can already KO characters with our leader, we only need to focus on 2 things. Well, you still have to, you always have to focus on 2 things usually, right? Reduce the cost and then pop it. Well, we already have the pop it taken care of. It's on our leader. That will never go away. Well, now we have to find a way to reduce cost and potentially mess with our life, like, turning a card face down again or gaining a life so we can use the effect again. Which is not too bad. So in that case, let's go ahead and look at the list, and I'll start explaining it to you guys so you know what's going on. First, I'll run through the list, and then we'll talk about it. So it's running 3 Laboon, 4 T-Bone, 4 Kuzan, 4 Suru, 4 Borsalino, 2 of the 10-cost Kuzan, very interesting, 2 brand new, 3 Sabo, 3 Rebecca, 4 Gecko Moria, 4 Hina, 4 Viola, 2 Yamato, 3 Gadatsu, 4 Hiyori, and 4 Ice Age. I don't know if I messed up what I set up here, guys, but what I was saying was 4 T-Bone, 2 Kuzan, 4 Suru, and 2 Borsalino. I feel like, I don't know, like, sometimes I mess up on the numbers because I'm looking at the card and I just keep saying 4 of sometimes, so my apologies if I messed that up. Anyway, notice there's no KO in this deck anywhere. There is no like Sakazuki to KO. There is no 3-cost Brook to KO. There is no KO built into a character outside of this one guy right here, because this is just an incredibly powerful effect that not only does it KO, but it also reduces the cost of the entire field by 5 as a static effect on your turn. It's a continuous effect. It's always there. Okay. Now everything else though. Yeah, I guess you could count T-Bone. Sorry guys, I left out T-Bone. This is an incredible 2K counter, but this is mainly a 2K counter. But everything else in the list is actually dedicated to reducing the cost of characters, right? Laboon is a 4-cost 5K, 1K counter. Activate main, rest his character, minus 4 cost to a character for the turn. Kuzan, we all know what this does, right? Same thing. Now this one's a when attacking as opposed to the activate main from Laboon. Laboon is very solid in this list, guys. It's very nice being able to use him, because he almost acts as a pseudo blocker afterwards as well. But at the same time, there's also some like anti-synergy there where like, okay, if they attack into this guy instead of your leader, now you can't pop their character unless you have another way to turn your cards face down. Well, this deck has that covered as well. Viola is a 2-cost 0-power blocker with a 1K counter. That's usually that'd be considered horrible, right? However, look what the on play is. You can either, let me put my glasses on and read this. Look at all your opponent's life cards and place them back in their life area in any order. So you can like adjust their life cards. Or you can turn all of your life cards face down. So that's going to kind of act as like, reloading your life so you can keep using your leader's effect. So Viola is very solid. And one thing we do need to take into consideration is this is a Dressrosa character. This list is running more of the Navy package, but here's the part that I got to talk about that's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit annoying for players who are trying to get this to be like, because remember, this leader is Dressrosa, but there's something that hurts the leader too. the fact that Rebecca is such a powerful character, but your one-cost Rebecca searchers cannot grab this Rebecca. So, you know, it's just really unfortunate, you know, that you can't run the one-cost Rebecca searcher and snag one of the strongest cards back that you'd want to get. But it is what it is. This person made it work through Navy, and this looks like it's pretty good. Now, the Hina is another one, right? This is a card you can keep getting back with Rebecca. And 3 cost, 5,000 power, on play, -4. So you see, that's the theme here. -4 from Hina, -4 from Laboon, -4 from Kuzan. That's the sweet spot. And then later in the game, you have this -5 as a blanket effect that you can also combo with your other stuff like Hina. It also has Ice Ages to do -5 as well. Okay, Gecko Moria, just for the pure, you know, the pure power that it holds. The Hiyori is a little interesting to me. I don't really know what's going on here. Okay, excuse me, I do. I don't know why I didn't just think of this. You can use Hiyori to turn your top card. Like, say you've used your leader's effect and they didn't attack into you. Well, you can play out Hiyori. You do lose a 2k counter in the process, I guess. But still, you play out the Hiyori, fix your top life card to turn it face down, and go about it that way. You know, pop it with one of these cost reducers in your leader effect. So pretty good stuff there. They can fix their life with Viola and Hiyori. Yamato's pretty good because it just gives you another life, right? So I think like the perfect, you know, late game with this deck is you just plop down Kuzan to pop a 5 or less, and then pop another 5 or less with your leader on the same turn. And then if you can follow that up with a Yamato to gain life, and pop a character with this effect, and pop another one with a new life you just gained with this, that's like the Wombo combo magic, you know, Christmas land potential in the deck, however you want to say it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure how to say it, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, as far as 2k counters go, it has 4 T-Bone, 4 Suru, and 4 of the Hiyori. So it's got 12 2k counters. The defensive package is pretty strong. It does have a little bit of ways to gain life, and it's got some good blockers. It's got Borsellino, it's got Sabo, Rebecca, Viola. Those are really good blockers, and you can get all of those back outside of Sabo. You can get the Borsellino, the Rebecca, and the Viola back with your Gecko Moria. And in fact, you can get Borsellino or Rebecca back and Viola with a Gecko Moria. So in other words, like grab back your Rebecca and Viola with the Gecko Moria effect, then use the Rebecca to snag a card back, like maybe like Hina, throw out the Hina to -4 cost to a character, use the Viola to set your life back to where it is so you can, you know, use your leader effect. It has a lot of synergy there. The Gadatsu seems interesting to me, but I guess if you're just, I don't know, I guess I play a little more aggressively with the list where I'm attacking more, where I don't feel like this card is quite as good. But as we know, guys, early in the game, Gadatsu is good, and when you drop down Kuzan, he's even better. And on top of that, there are so many ways to reduce cost. I do see where Gadatsu does find a spot in the deck, but maybe as like a 2-of, but they're running as a 3-of. Seems pretty good. Okay, that's the whole list, guys. We just went over the entire thing. If you've got any comments or questions or suggestions or whatever, please put them in the comment section below. Now we're going to move over to some games on the sim. Now, I took the deck in a slightly different direction, not much different. In fact, you can see in my hand right now, I've got beige in there. I've got You're the One Who Should Disappear. Because I noticed that I was running quite a few bricks in the list, and it was kind of annoying, you know, not having what I needed all the time. Okay, we all set up over here. The volume's off. Let me get the speed. Speed's on 2x. All right, we're good to go. Okay. Can you guys see it good? Yeah, nice. All right, so here we go, guys. This is going against Blue Doflamingo, and this isn't exactly a bad deck. Like, Doffy's not a bad deck. And let's talk about the matchups for a second. While I'm setting their top 5 life cards right now, which is so nice with that Viola, because I want to use that early so I can bring it back with Gecko Moria for free later in the game. You can use it as a 1k counter if you need to, but I'd rather get the block potential out of it. Right there. Now, okay, pause real quick. Here's where this deck shines, and I was going to talk about this in just a second, talking about like what its best matchups were. Let me just tie that all into what I'm about to say. I actually think this deck will be pretty decent against Red Purple Law. I'm not saying it's going to just auto counter it or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm going to pop a 4 or less every single turn. I mean, every turn I'm going to pop a 4 or less. So whatever they put down, I can pop until they start getting into the 5-cost characters. So I feel like the matchup against Red Purple Law won't be that bad. We'll have to see that. We'll have to do some play testing, and you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. So I'm going against Doffy. He's going to play 4 cost or less characters the entire game. Well, I've got bad news for him. I'm running, you see the card on the screen right now, Shirahoshi? That is a 4-cost, 0-power, 1k blocker, on play -4. So I am going to non-stop get this card back and just keep popping whatever I need to with, you know, with my leader's effect plus like Gecko. First, I want to get cards out of his hand. That's my #1 goal here. Perfect. It worked out well. We're going to drop the Shirahoshi, -4. Now I know I have a Laboon coming. I've got a blocker that I don't care if I lose. In fact, I want to lose it to get value back with it later with Gecko Moria. And we're good to go. Okay, now I do want to take this hit so I can use my leader's effect again. Understand that too. You have to, that's the one thing that requires skill in this deck. Like the one thing you have to be conscientious of is like, okay, if you do not take life, then you have to have a way to set your top life card or you won't be able to use the effect. So I swing 7 into him. I was hoping he would 2k, 1k out of that because then I was just going to get rid of everything. But that's okay. I go ahead and get rid of his Perona. And I've got a 5k on the board. I've got a blocker. I've got 3 life still. I'm feeling completely fine. He plays out the Edward Weevil. I take this because I need to pop the Weevil, and my turn. You know, that's kind of how this deck goes. Like what you're seeing, this is going to be a common trend you see every game, where it's like I need to take 1 life every turn, or I have to fix my life so that I can do the leader effect again. Okay, so right here I'm going to play out double Laboon. I'm going to use -4 to him, pop it with a leader effect, and now if he wants to swing into my Laboon, that's fine. Now, okay, that's not as fine, right? But, okay, right here, I feel like I should block. Or it looks like I'm thinking about using my 0-cost 3k here. But what I was going to say was, I need to keep that character alive because I really want to play out my Kuzan this turn. I'm trying to get him to use the blocker, see if he wants to do it. I was like, you know what? If he uses the blocker, then I have no target. It's like, okay, let's go ahead and just do it like this. We'll pop him, and then we'll swing in. Okay, he plays out the 10-cost Kuzan. It's too bad I don't still have my, it's too bad that I don't still have my, whatchamacallit, the 2 Laboons down. But I have other options as well. Okay, so watch this, guys. This Shanks. I'm running the 7-cost Shanks from whatever it's called. Oh, gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Goodness gracious. The Shanks, let me pause this real quick. The Shanks from ST13. Sorry about that, guys. I had a total, like, lapse of memory there. I couldn't remember. Now, right here, I just mess up. I don't understand why, but all I had to do was Ice Age the 10 cost, and it's gone. I can pop it with my leader effect. So that was just some odd play mistake that I don't know why I didn't do it. Okay, so I take this hit. I'm fine with it. He can't take me out in this game right here. But like I said, I don't know why I didn't just remove that character. It makes no sense. Okay, he plays out Perona. He's going to set his top life, swing in with his leader for, what, probably 9, and get a character for free on the board. Swing for 9 into that. Okay, they're swinging for 9 into my Hina. Okay, now this turn, I'm like, okay, how many cards does this guy have in hand, and how's he gonna survive this? So right here, again, I just like looking back. Why didn't I just pop the Kaido? That was, again, it happens all the time. You know, sometimes you just don't think about it. Ended up working out fine because I had another Shanks in hand. He had more than 7 cards. So that Shanks is nice, guys. If y'all don't know what that card does, let me see if I can go back to it real quick, like in the picture. Let me hang on 1 second. Play. Go back 10. As soon as I click on it, I'm not fast enough. Oh well. Let me just tell you what it does. He has on play. You have to flip the top card of your life face down. So in other words, it does have to be face up. And you flip the top card of your life face down, and if your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, they lose a life. Like, it trashes it. The card is really, really good. Okay, and then I end up swinging in here for 7, and then it was going to be 7, and then 11. So there's pretty much no way out of it. Yeah, GG. Okay, next game. That Shanks, I was having a lot of fun with. I'm not going to lie, guys. Even after that insane play mistake there where I didn't pop for no reason, I just let the guy have the Kaido. It makes no sense. It was going to be the perfect play, too. I'm sorry, I got to pause one more time. We got to wrap up my thoughts on that last game. It was going to be the perfect play where it's like, okay, establish the 7K, flip my life back up, -5 to your dude with Ice Age, pop that to flip the life back to where it was because who cares? I'll take it the next turn anyway. And now you don't have that body. I think he would have just conceded right then if I had done that, too. But, oh, man, sometimes that happens. You know, when you're playtesting these new decks, you have so much on your mind, you just forget about it. So look at this Viola. I played out Viola on turn 1 because the Arlong wants to go first. I play out Viola, and I see what their life is. So I'm going to set their Frankies at the very beginning so they can't get to draw 1 and play the body, and then I'll set everything else after that. I put the Sanji second one from the bottom because I want him to waste cards on that as well. Okay, so he swings out for 7, plays out Nekomamushi. Here's another example of where this deck shines. Oh, you're going to play out a 4-cost or lower character pretty much every turn? Okay, well, I guess I'll just pop it literally every single turn. I play out the blocker, pop that. I know another Shirahoshi's coming now, which is really good information. So now I know I can let the Shirahoshi go if I need to, and I can just plop out another one, popping the next character. You know, it's just nice. It's just a really nice spot to be in. He's going to swing for 9. Plays out the Sanji. I need to take it or else I can't pop the Sanji with the leader effect. So right here, I think I'm just going to swing 7, establish another body, and pop this Sanji. Hey, I know what he just drew, right? He just drew a, what's his name, a Frankie. I know what he has. And now I reveal the top card of my life. It's a Gecko Moria. So it's like, okay, it's like in my mind, I'm like, I still want to take this card, but remember what I have in my trash, guys. I still want to take the life, but now watch this next turn. This next turn is insane. It actually made me think like, okay, maybe there's actually some like major potential for this deck. So watch this. Okay, 8 Dawn turn, and I can't even attack with my leader, but who cares? I don't need that for the effect. Oh, look what I'm going to bring back. I'll have -4 calls to a character from the Shirahoshi, and I'll set my top life cards back to, you know, face down with the Viola. It's like the perfect combo here. All right, so what card do I want to get rid of? I thought about the Arlong, but the Nekomamushi is actually more important, I think, because it can attack active characters. Pop that card. I got 2 blockers still. I've got 3 life. Look at my hand. Look what my next turn's going to be. I want to take at least 1 life on this turn here from him so I can use my leader effect with the Kuzan on the board. So, you know, we've got a lot going on here. Okay, he's going to swing for 7, and he's got 2 other attacks. I think I'm going to block. I think I blocked this one. No, I let this one go, and I can block the rest, I guess. Django. Okay, then he's going to cheat out another card. So you look at this board, and this looks pretty bad, right? Like, oh, you know, I'm in trouble here. Guys, watch this. All right, swing 6. I'll 2K out of this one, of course. All right. Do you guys know? Pause. See if, okay, we'll have a quick little exercise, mental exercise here. What would you do with 10 Dawn, with this hand, with this board, against that board? What is your play here? Guys, I'm going to absolutely ravage his board here, right? I mean, absolutely ravage his board. Okay, one slight play mistake, though. One slight play mistake. I should have swung for 5 first at face, and then did this attack right here, because I know he has a Sanji and he wouldn't want to replace a card on the field. One slight play mistake there, but that's okay. Okay, that's why we do play testing. That's why I do these videos and we recap and all that good stuff. Okay, so played out Kuzan, popping a 5 cost, the 5 cost Django, pop the 4 cost Frankie with the leader's effect. I still have 2 blockers, guys, and look how big my board is. You see what I'm saying? I should have attacked first. That was my one mistake there with the leader, but that's okay. All right, your turn, buddy. You know, what are you going to do here? Number 1, my next card in life is a beige. So if you attack me with one of your characters, I'm going to take the hit, and now your leader can't attack. Oh, okay, swing for 7. I guess I'll go ahead and take this, and then your leader can't attack this turn. It just seems good, right? Swing for 7. I've got 2 blockers, like I said, and I've got 6 cards in hand. Okay, let's see what he does. And I know his last card. His last card is a 2K counter. So smash in, doesn't matter, swing 10, GG. That's awesome. So this was like I said, this, I know Arlong's not the absolute 0 tier leader out there, but this game gave me some serious hope for this deck where it's like, dude, if I can, that little wombo combo of all the 4 cost and 2 cost blockers that are working perfectly with my leader, I can get them back with Gecko and then chain that into a 10 cost Kuzan potentially. That is disgusting, right? There's a lot of potential there. And like you guys saw, I do run the Ice Ages, and the Shanks is kind of decent. The Shanks is kind of decent. All right, now, last game here. I've only got 3 games for us today. We're going against Red Blue Marco. So this is OP08. This is an OP08 deck, and I know it's not the best one, but we'll at least get some ideas here. This one was a weird one. I do remember the ending was weird, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, so he's going to play out an Ezo. He's going to do a top 5 search. Do I have it on 2x speed? 1 second, guys. I don't. Okay, we got to fix that right away. Okay, we're on 2x speed now. We're good. I don't have my preferred start on turn 2 with my Viola, but that's okay. That's all right. It's all right, I guess. All right, he plays out the Ezo. Looks like he's probably going to swing for 7 here. Yep, swing for 7. He's setting his hand up perfectly, which is not ideal for us. That's not great. We'll swing for 5 at leader. We'll play out the Laboon here. Okay, just waiting for him to make up his mind. It's like, I'm just swinging for 5. I would have probably counted out of it personally, but, you know, I don't know what he's got. So my Laboon's not safe. Part of me thought that, like, maybe okay, and he hits me with a pudding. That is less than ideal, and look what he got. That was a really good pudding. I don't have a 2K counter in my hand now. Okay, Now, looking at my hand, if I can just make it into turn 5 at a decent spot, then I'll be all right. Now, one thing he did give me from that pudding is 2 really good blockers that are going to get a lot of value this game from my Gecko Moria, or at least potentially can. All right. He hits me with the Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. I'm in a tough spot here because I don't want to lose any more life, but I kind of need to lose a little bit of life so I can use my leader effect next time. Play out the Shirahoshi just because it's a blocker. Establish an 8, costs 9k. This is not a great spot. Let's just call it what it is, right? I'm not in the best spot right here. Now, I'm not going to use that Ice Age to pop one of these 1-cost guys. That would make no sense. He's going to play out an Edward Newgate. That's not good. You know, I do end up taking it so that I can use cards next turn if I need to, because I really want to get this Edward Newgate off the board. However, you know, you can't always get the stuff off that you want to. So we'll pop that. I know I have a Gecko Moria coming now. I still have my blocker on the board. I'll play out the Laboon. We'll swing for 6. Or do I swing? Oh, I can't, excuse me. I can't swing for 6 because he's at 7k from the Edward Newgate. So I swing for 10. He takes it. He has 1 card left. And now let's see what he does. This was the part of the game. All right, so analyze the situation here, guys. He's going to go -2 to my what's his name? My Gecko Moria. And then he's going to play out Sanji into Rayleigh. Yep, I remember all this. And then he just leaves. This is the strangest thing. Pops my guy there. I don't know what the logic was there. Now, don't get me wrong. I stared at this game for a while, determining if I could win or not. Like, I mean, that was where we were at. Now, notice he has a very good hand for, like that's more than your average amount of 2k counters in your hand at this point in the game. But watch this. So, say he passes. He's going to swing, right? If he swings into my, what's his name? Gecko Moria. My Gecko Moria is at 4. If he swings 6 into 4, I can very easily get out of it with my zero cost counter, right? So my Gecko Moria is surviving, or I could have blocked too if I needed to. Like, you know, there were a few options. Now, here's what my next turn was going to be. Next turn, because he has 7 cards in hand, I was actually going to play Shanks. Shanks was going to come down and literally turn my Gecko Moria face up, pop his last life card, which is something he would have needed to survive the game. And then I have a 7k, what's his name here, Gecko Moria. And then I would attach my remaining 3 Dawn to my 6, would he be a 6k? Excuse me, he'd be a 6k Gecko Moria. Attach my remaining 3 Dawn after the Shanks play to swing for 9 at face. That would take a 2k, 2k, 1k, right? And then finally I would swing for 5 and 5, and he would only have a 2k counter left. Now, again, that was my only chance of winning that game as far as playing, like, how do you say it? And I think that's why he left. I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe he forgot to attack with his leader or something, or maybe he just thought he was going to lose. But, again, that Rayleigh effect lasts until the beginning of your next turn, right? To the beginning of your next turn as the Marco player. So my Gecko Moria would have been a 6k. I don't know why he wouldn't at least try. Now, like I said, my only play going forward from here was to go all in because I don't think I could survive what's on the board. So what I was going to do, well, I don't know. Hang on. Let's analyze it. I could have tried to pop some characters here because I do have a blocker, and if he had swung in here, I'd have my Gecko Moria still. So there is a world in which I could pop, like, let's just say the Sanji by tapping down the, gosh, that's so confusing. Hang on. So I think what I would have to do is tap down the Laboon to go -4. I think I'd only be able to hit the Rayleigh, at least comfortably. Because then I'd have to throw out the Hina. I don't know. You guys tell me what y'all think I should have done in the comment section below. But just to give you a heads up, the way that I would have tackled this situation, since I was in this position, I'm just going to tell you that after this turn here, he was supposed to swing 6 into my Gecko Moria. Because it was going to be 6 into 4, because he's -5,000 for the turn, and he'll be -3,000 on my turn. I can easily just block out with Shirahoshi if I needed to, or counter out like with what I have in my hand. But the most important thing was going to be next turn on 10 Dawn, 7 Dawn gets these cards, you know, since he has 7 cards in hand, Shanks rips his last life away, and then I put my remaining 3 Dawn on Gecko Moria and swing 9 at face. And that's how that turn was going to go. You know what I mean? At least that's how I would have done it. I guess you could have gone 7-7-6. Maybe that would have done it. 2K. 7-7-6 would have worked as well. Hang on. So I have 3 Dawn left to play with, right? Or no, I could have only done 7-7-5. So 2K, 1K, 2K, 2K, and then he has none left that way as well. So there were a few ways to do that. Sorry, that was long-winded, guys. But that was one of those interesting situations where it's like, oh, man, he left before we could have got to the natural conclusion. And I think whichever way I did it, whether it was a 7K, 7K, 5K, or a 9K, 5K, I think it was just over for him, excuse me, because of what he had in hand. Because remember, guys, the Shanks, let's go ahead and hop over to the Shanks real quick. There we go. And let me move my face over. 1 second, guys. There we go. So this is the Shanks. He trashes the card from life, guys. Flip one of, so on play, flip one of your face-up life cards face down, and if your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, send up to 1 card from the top of their life to the trash. So because of that card, I would completely get around the bad manners kick course. So, and I didn't even know it was there. I was just going to do this so he couldn't get any kind of special trigger to mess up my board. So anyway, all right, so this is the list I was running. The Flampe was something pretty desperate in case I needed to use the leader effect. That's why I'm only running 2 of them. Beige was okay. I liked, you know, the Hyoris were nice because we know what that does. That allows us to fix our top life card. The Hyoris are solid. And notice me and the guy were both running 4 Laboon, 4 of this guy. I think, was he running? Let me see. Let me bring it back up real quick. He was only running 2 Kuzans, which is fine too, and only 3 Laboons, 2 Kuzans, the 10-cost Kuzan. I was running a little heavier on these, but I wasn't running the blockers. I just said, you know what? The blockers aren't going to do it for me. And I wasn't even running Rebecca. Notice that? I wasn't running like the Hina plus Rebecca combo, and that is one thing I probably would adjust moving forward. Like maybe go down, like just to give an idea, going down two Shanks, maybe go down 1 or 2 Kuzans. I'm not worried about going too many down. Excuse me, because I am running this event. So maybe I'll go down 1 event, go down 1 of these, go down, you know, 1 10-cost Kuzan, go down 2 of the 7-cost Shanks. I really liked Kuzan as a 4 of. I'm just being honest, guys. I think this card as a 4 of was really nice. I am running the Hina, but now that I made that space up, I can put Rebecca in. Sorry, guys. There we go. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now. Y'all bear with me. But I think this is kind of more in the right direction, at least for what I'm trying to do. Let me see what his... I want to check real quick what his... he was running the Gadatsus. So that's like the big difference. In his 2K counters, he was running T-Bone and Suru because he wanted to be able to search those up with his... he wanted to be able to search those up with his brand new, which I like that. I like that a lot. I definitely would like to... Let me... I'm running the Hiyori, Beige, and Flampe. I definitely will get rid of the Beige real quick and go up the Surus. The Surus make a lot of sense to me because that you can pull back with your Gecko Moria if needed to help pop something with your leader's effect, potentially. I'm just giving some ideas. And then now that I put the Rebecca back in, I can sling out the Hinas with that. I already have 12 blockers now with the Rebecca because I had 4 Shirahoshi and 4 Viola, and those were my targets. Like that's what I'm going for with my Gecko Moria. But it is nice to have another target with Rebecca just in case maybe you don't have Shirahoshi in your trash. It just gives one more option because then when you're countering out early with your Surus, now you can use Rebecca to pop something else. And I think one more thing I will change. I will go down 2 Kuzans, and I'm actually going to go up 2 Helmeppos, I think. I think this is the direction I would take the list, guys. Because it's nice having the Helmeppo to grab back with Gecko Moria as well. Like, say you don't need the Viola. Say you already have a card that's face down as your top life card. Okay, no problem. I can go Gecko Moria, snag back the Rebecca and the Helmeppo, and then I will also grab back a Hina with my Rebecca, and then I'll be able to minus 7 cost to a character from that interaction there and pop with my leader's effect a 7 cost or less. So that's just one option. That's just one idea. I really like the way this deck is performing. I wish it had more card draw, because as you guys can see, I'm only running the 2 Kuzans for card draw and technically 2 Flampe, but that's not really card draw. That's sacrificing your life to draw cards. But it's better than nothing. But yeah. So the Flampe, I will say that too. That can go for something else. Let me bring up the different 2K counters. I would like for it to be a 2-cost possible target with Gecko, just like the Suru is. Or I guess I could make 1 2K counter that's a 4-cost target in case I need the Viola or the Helmeppo. You know what I mean? You always have to look at it in that way. And if that's the case, I guess I could run the Peronas, these 4-cost Peronas, because it's just a good 2K counter. It's super annoying. It has cost reduction built in. Yeah, I think this actually is probably what I should replace the Flampe with. But hear me out. The reason I was running Hiyori I already talked about, but Flampe I saw it as like, okay, if I'm playing against a more defensive list, like maybe not even defensive, but like protective. Yeah, I guess defensive. Like this defensive protective list like Nami or something, Well, the flampe would actually be very strong then, right? Because then I could rip the top card of my life off that might be face up because I already KO'd something with the characters with the leader's effect, and then I have a brand new card to deal with, and I played out a 2K counter that drew me 2 cards. There's something to be said there. I will say I think there is something to be said there. But yeah, so after kind of thinking about it, looking at it, these are the first revisions I would probably go straight to. Now, as far as like 07 goes, let me go to 07 cards. Wait, this is 08. Oh, it says 079, so I just brought it up anyway. Sorry, guys. Some of these are going to be OP08, but bear with me. Excuse me. So remember, guys, we only need cost reducers. That's like the main thing we need. Oh, this could be interesting, by the way. I just randomly saw this Lucy card. This could be kind of interesting. It's a 6 cost 7K. When attacking once per turn, you put the top or bottom card of your life pile in your hand. So take the life card you already used up with your leader effect, and then rest up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or less characters. Then, if your life total is 1 or less, place the top card of your deck onto the top of your life. So early on, it'll just be a way that's kind of like flampe, where it's like, all right, I'm going to take this life card early, and then I'll be able to use my leader effect to pop a character. But then if you're at 2 life and use this to go down to 1 or less, where'd he go? I just lost him. Oh gosh, hang on, I just got to bring him up like this. There he is. Okay. Then you can actually, and you're tapping a character, but sorry guys, just to finish my thought, you can add the top card of your life to your hand, and if you only have 1 or less life left, you can actually get the card right back. So it acts as like a cycle. It's just really nice. It's actually just straight up card draw if you have 1 or less life, right? Because you're drawing the card from your life and replacing it with another one face down. So then you'll be able to use your leader effect in that way. So this could be something interesting to mess around with, and this is also Dressrosa. There is something worth mentioning there, because if you type in, so remember, this leader is Dressrosa, guys. So if you type in Dressrosa, there is some idea to explore this more for this leader. Unfortunately, they printed cards like this that have like an anti-synergy with the leader, where like this is trying, all right, this says you may rest one of your leaders and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. This is obviously meant for Rebecca, so that's less than fortunate. That's unfortunate. But we do have options like Sabo. This is actually a really good option because this can open up another attack for our leader. But the worst part about this card is you're trashing the top life card. That is unfortunate. But Viola is really good. We already know what this does, and I'm using this. This card has been an absolute all-star in the deck, especially with Gecko Moria. Because there were plays where it's like, okay, Shirahoshi and Viola are coming out of my trash. Those are 2 blockers now, and I have my 8 cost 9K body, and I just gave your character -4, fixed my top life card, and popped something with my leader. And Ice Age is only 1 cost, so that's also very solid because it allows you to, hit some other targets that way. But yeah, this is just the Dressrosa stuff I have up right here. Remember, guys, Sabo is Dressrosa. Like this 5 cost 6K Sabo, that's a Dressrosa card. That's a very strong card. Here's what I was talking about earlier in the video, where I was talking about Rebecca. Like this card would be so good in Kyros, and then making like a Dressrosa version of the build. But unfortunately, you can't search up Rebecca with a Rebecca card. That's just how most searchers are in the game. The only ones that get around that are the ones that cost Dawn to use every time, and you have to rest the character to use it. Well, this is like the main Dressrosa card we want to use. I wasn't even running Sabo, but I think there is an argument to run Sabo. I personally am not a huge fan of this card in what we're doing. I think the card's really good in general, but for what we're trying to do in this list, I actually don't like it that much. Like talking about the Sabo, I like the way that this is built, where it's like, okay, everything either fixes my life or everything does cost reduction. That's it. There's no other thing to do in this deck, right? I'm not trying to KO with my characters. I'm trying to KO with my leader every single turn. I want to be able to pop it with all this cost reduction that I'm running, and I just want to block out of everything they do, and then just keep the tempo going with a card like Gecko Moria. Very solid deck from what I experienced. I didn't get a lot of playtesting done. I didn't find any red-purple laws. I don't remember playing against any Luchis or anything like that. And in fact, I think I only played like 4 or 5 games. I got the 3 games you saw there. But Shanks, this had a really strong. This card has a lot of potential. That's all I know what to say. This card has a lot of potential, and I'm not even talking about just in Kyros. I'm talking about like in any deck that could get this off. Like flipping a card face up, or excuse me, flipping your face up card face down. I'm even thinking of like some kind of interaction with Sabo. Because then you could start popping their life cards for free. And remember, like, because the way Sabo works is you're just kind of beating up their board, and they're kind of saving cards in hand for a lot of the time. I guess it depends on the deck, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. If you could just start eating their life, trashing it. This doesn't like add the card to their hand, guys. It trashes their life card if they have 7 or more cards in hand. There's I think there's something here, guys. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Right, guys, that's about it for today's video. That's about it. This was kind of a shorter video for my deep dive style videos. But like I said, I have already done an entire video on Black Yellow Kyros, this leader right here. I've already done a video on it, and I will link it in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think. Are you thinking that you should be building it more Dressrosa, more Navy, or more all over the place like I'm doing? This is basically a Gecko Moria value deck at this point, like what you see on the screen here. This is just a straight up Gecko Moria value deck. Do you think you should build it more like that? Do you think we should go a whole other direction with it? I mean, hey, it's even yellow, guys. Should we start trying to mess around with Land of Wano? I don't know. I'm just saying there are some options there. Right, guys, let's go ahead and I'm going to go from here over to the art critique. And I hope you guys did enjoy that part, because this leader, it's black yellow, so of course it's something that I really like. But at the same time, we got to figure it out so it's playable. All right, let me make my picture a little bit smaller here. So we got Sanji. Okay, we're messing around with some yellow. So, of course, we got to talk about Sanji a little bit. So, I just call this guy White Suit Sanji. And, man, I got to tell you, this very dapper, looking very dapper in his white suit, looks incredible. He's got he's taking the gloves off because, you know, it's time to beat some people up here, I guess. Let me first we'll tackle the picture on the left, and then we'll go to back to the one on the right. So, when it comes to art, this is a specific style. You see it a lot in, like, posters, where, like, you'll have the main picture, the main image here. Let me go ahead and get out the line tool. Okay, so we got our main picture, and notice the cape. It's making that very solid triangle. I probably should just do a triangle, actually. Bust out the triangle tool, and let me put this in, like, a green so it'll really pop for us. Nice. And then we can rotate it. Let me make it 3D so it's easier to work with. So we've got, like, his actual figure, and that's like the triangle. You see what's going on here. Really good stuff with the triangle. From the side of this cape over down to here. It's not a perfect triangle by any means, but that's the actual general shape of it. Now, other than that, in the background, there's his face. Now we have a close-up. This is the same person. For those who are not aware, guys, these are both Sanji. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, you'll see this like with like movie posters where you're trying to get like more than one idea across is kind of what happens. So right here, you know, we see him like walking forward. Sorry guys, it's hard to show that where I'm in the camera, but he's walking forward. He's got somewhat of a scowl on his face, like his eyebrows are down. He looks frustrated, right? He does not want to be here. That's the take. And how perfect is that for this card, for the flavor of this card? He's just enjoying himself, chilling out in life, right? He's just chilling out in the life of whatever the player's doing. And, oh, he gets rudely interrupted by the person attacking into the life. And Sanji, known for his speed, he's into play. Doesn't even go to hand. Goes into play. You know what I mean? I just think that the flavor there is they really nailed it with that one. And they made a really cool card. I think this is a very solid card that's very well balanced. I don't quite feel the same about something maybe like Kikinojo, you know, where it's just coming to play for free. You know, this card, you at least have to trash a card from hand. It's a 5K body versus 6K body. It doesn't have an on-KO effect. It's just a blocker. I feel like this is just like a really incredible thematic card. And as far as the actual piece goes, this is one of those, I gotta put my glasses back on. This is another one of those pieces that's like really scratchy. Like this is a specific art style. I don't know the technical name. I think I explained in the past is like, there's almost like an impasto feeling, like, and that's where there's like these very thick brush strokes, or if it was a real piece, it feels like you could touch the actual painting, and it's got like ridges and textures, and that's that seems like what's going on here. But this seems like a digitalized version of that. But it looks absolutely incredible. I love this picture back here of just his face, right? Just the portrait of his face back there. He's got that, you know, that swoop, you know, the bangs coming across the one eye. He's got the swirly eyebrow. Such an interesting and unique character. I know a lot of people, people know that I'm not really big into One Piece as far as like watching the anime or reading the manga goes, but I still enjoy a good story. And this is one of the most interesting characters for me. And I know, guys, I know why people don't like him. Okay, I know enough to, I'm not about to go through it, but hear me out. I just think this is a really interesting character. And a lot of people might think otherwise, but I mean, from the beard to the eyebrow, to the hair swoop, to the speed, his fighting style. Guys, if you have something to say about Sanji's fighting style that is negative, I'm sorry. Like, how? It's one of those, and I'm not saying people are saying that. In fact, I think most people would say that his fighting style is the most cool, is the coolest thing about him, or the most interesting thing about him. But I just think that this character has so much character. Really cool stuff. And I understand why people don't like him too, though. I do. All right, especially without going into any spoilers. Good stuff there. And I love this this cloak, this cape that he has on, this red cape with the popped collar. You got the gold here, you know, for the whatever you'd call that, to keep it on. Just looks incredible. Really big fan of this piece, the whole entire thing of it. And there's even something going on in the back here, guys. Okay, someone tell me what's happening in the back here for the people who do watch the anime or read the manga. I need to know what is going on back here. It looks like someone's standing right here. And then I see Sanji. It's hard to make out what these figures are from this picture, but I'm sure people who watch the anime or read the manga would know right away. And then, of course, down here, his legs like on fire. Do y'all see the swirls down here with the orange? Just looks awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, now let's go over to the other side. This is a much lighter picture. Okay, the other one, like looking back, the one on the left is very dark. It's very menacing. But the one on the right is very arrogant. It's very bright. The colors are bright. The swirls of fire everywhere. I love how they did the foot. Like, look at the flame just coming off of the foot. And we know, you know, he's known for his speed. He's known for his kicks, his kicking style of fighting. This piece here is just really nice. And that white suit. And I have to at least mention the card in person. I'm not an alt art guy, but this card's alt art, like the actual physical copy of it, in, you know, seeing it and touching it and feeling it in person, it's like, dude, this card looks so awesome. One of my favorite alt arts in the game. But really well done the way this is executed, because the background, I love when you can really make out the background. Like, we've got some cakes back here. I think it's from Whole Cake Island. And then you have, like I said, his feet are on fire, like he's ready to fight. He's got this swoop in the background. Let me get out the marker tool real quick, and we'll just kind of draw a little bit. Like back here, you see all this swooping going on right here from the fire. It somehow loops around to this. Maybe this is the intended effect here. And then down here at the bottom, it looks like something blew up way down here at the bottom right. Y'all see that? Okay, let me go off of it. It looks like something happened down here at the bottom right, like he just landed and smashed the ground or something when he did. And he's always got the cigarette in hand. That's another thing about this one over here. I don't remember seeing the cigarette in this one. Unless it's in one of these hands hidden behind the text. No cigarette. This is very serious. This is very angry Sanji. I love it, guys. These art pieces are really incredible. Okay, that's about it, guys. I don't want to ramble on for too long. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I hope y'all enjoyed all that. If I missed anything, as usual, please help me out, guys. I appreciate when people do help me out. All right, let's go ahead and check out the Patreon, the VV Pirates Playmat supporters page. Big shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for buying for buying up some of the playmats, a bunch of the playmats. I do still have some left. For those who are interested, I'll link the video down in the comment section below. And then also another big shout out to my VV Pirates patron page supporters. Thank you guys so much for helping me in the ways y'all do. Literally just trying to help me out in what ways y'all can, and y'all go above and beyond, and I really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who just watches, subscribes, shares, comments, likes, you know, anything like that. It all helps me out, guys. It all adds to the channel, and, you know, to the algorithm, and making the channel bigger and better and all that good stuff. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed that, guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Peace.